J-Lock.
The Clippers can do whatever the hell they want, but I'm not going to trust them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
So first off, let's jump right into it. Sixers, Jazz, Mukhtar. Who's a contender? Who's a pretender? Are they both contenders or are they both pretenders?
Well, the Jazz are the best. They have the best record in the league right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
They're all right. They're the only team in the NBA in top 5 offense and defensive rating, which is like champions. That's champion level basketball. But the only concerning thing is the best player is Donovan Mitchell, and their second best player is Rudy Gobert. And I just don't think. I think they're pretenders. They're on a very good streak right now. They have like a good regular season team. Bogdanovich is back. He's playing very well, but at the end of the day, they're pretenders. They'll get destroyed by the Lakers, Clippers, the Nuggets.
Phoenix.
Yeah. I think they beat Phoenix, but yeah, they're pretenders. If I can name 4 teams ahead of you in your own conference, I believe you're pretenders. And as it pertains to the Sixers are playing pretty good basketball. I've been impressed by Joel Embiid this year, but Ben Simmons, although he's giving me 13, 8, and 8. Although you're a triple double threat, like you can't be the number one pick and only give me 13 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'll never sit right with me. I think if you're gonna be a number one pick, you're supposed to be like they're comparing you to LeBron James. So like I'm at least expecting at least a 20 and 7 and like 5. Like I need you to be a threat, and when it comes to the playoffs, he won't be a threat. So I still think Philly has a move in them. I strongly believe that Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine could easily be on easily be on that team and easily contend with them. But as of right now, they're pretenders.
I agree with you on both points.
Really?
I think, yeah.
So
Yeah.
both teams are pretenders?
Yeah,
Both teams?
I agree
Okay.
with you. I agree with Mukhtar on that. Utah's a good regular season team, but I don't think that they are going to do anything in the playoffs. I would even go to say, like, if one of the teams in the bottom seed are like, let's say the Portland Trailblazers, I think Portland will take them out, even if Utah's number one. That's what I believe. So I believe that they're a pretender. And as for the Sixers, I just don't see them beating Brooklyn. I don't see them beating the Bucks. So I'm gonna go pretender there. And Mukhtar, you're spot on with Ben Simmons needs to be better. I know Jalen harps on that a lot. He needs to be better. So Perry, what do you think? Do you think that the Sixers and the Jazz are any of them contenders, pretenders, or are they the same?
When we say contenders, are we saying that I think they have a legitimate chance at winning, or am I saying that they're more probable in their attempt to win a championship? Like it's more probable that they'll win than lose. Because I think those are two different questions, and my answer would change depending on your answer.
Well, would any of them actually make it to the finals?
Oh, do I see any of them making it to the finals?
Yeah.
Is the sky red? Is it purple? Is it no? Does my face look like a hologram projected throughout the entire world? No. That's not how this life works. Do I see the Sixers making it to the finals? Who's their secondary scorer?
Tobias Harris. He's having a good year.
But can he be a championship second option?
Nope. He'll be my third.
So you know what I'm saying? So I look at that. I don't see that happening. Ben Simmons, he's a good point guard, but I think he's in the wrong system. I don't see how you pair a non-shooter with Joel Embiid and have that non-shooter retain most of your ball handling duties. His numbers have regressed. I think the coaching is a big thing. I think the change in coaching has really given this team a lot of confidence. I think Joel Embiid has been motivated to play better. He's looking like a different animal, but the same beast. Shout out Mamba. And I look at the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz, I think. Can I give like a quick story? Let me give a quick story. So when you're in elementary school, maybe like grade 4, and some kid has like a sandwich in aluminum and then you turn around and you turn back and he made it into grills, you're like, wow, that's so cool. Until you see that he has to take the grills out and he can't really, rewrap the sandwich and everything's just discombobulated. That's what I think this Jazz team is. I want to know who their perimeter defender is. Like who's going to guard the best perimeter defenders in the offensive players in the league?
Royce O'Neal.
Who?
Royce
Royce
O'Neal.
O'Neal.
That is their best defender on the perimeter.
I'm simply answering your question. That's
No, no, no. I'm
okay.
I'm, I'm asking. I'm literally just asking for clarification. That's their best defender
From
on the
what I see
perimeter.
based on the games, yes.
Rudy Gobert.
Oh, I don't want Rudy Gobert guarding Kyrie Irving on the 3 point line. I don't want him guarding Kevin Durant at the 3 point line. He's a great interior presence, but they need people who can guard guards. I don't think that can be done. They've had the same coach and they've had similar success throughout their run. I just feel that they consistently come short in specific times when they're evenly matched with teams, not because they're inferior, but because there needs to be that extra step that Donovan Mitchell takes. Do I think he can take it? Yeah, I think it's possible. I've seen Dwayne Wade take it. Hopefully, Donovan Mitchell follows in those footsteps, but Dwayne Wade is a bona fide Hall of Famer and top five at his position. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell follows in those footsteps, but if he does, good on him, brother.
Jalen, what do
So
you think?
for
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
I was just gonna say to answer both. I think the Sixers are a contender. I can see them in the finals if everything goes wrong in the East, and the Eastern Conference is an easier conference. But as it pertains for the Utah Jazz, I'm not watching a final if they're in it.
That bold statement right there. Jalen, what do you make? Do you think Utah or Philadelphia are contenders, pretenders? They're the same, and who's closer to a championship?
So I want to give a quick shout out to Joel Embiid because he has been hooping. Joel Embiid has been balling. We can't deny that. And I think he stepped up as a leader as well. When this team was not decimated, but they were struggling through the COVID protocols, he did step up and he did ball out. He had multiple games that went to overtime, and he simply took over. And that's what we've been waiting to see for Joel Embiid. Something that's funny that I brought up with Perry is that he's playing back to backs, and I know we're commending him for doing his job, but that's huge because under Brett Brown he wouldn't be playing back to backs. So I think that's a step in the right direction for the organization to have him sit down and say, look, you're gonna have to play back to backs if we want to get to where we need to be, and it's a step in the right direction for Doc Rivers as well, coming off a year where he let Kawhi literally do whatever he want. It's nice to see he finally holds his players accountable. With that being said, I will never ever trust a team with Benjamin Simmons on it. So the Sixers are absolutely pretenders. As it pertains to the Utah Jazz, however, um, I've been impressed with their defensive statistics. So I'm going to give you all the statistics here. I thought their offensive rating is fifth in the NBA. Their defensive rating is sixth. Their net rating is fourth. They average 106.2 points against, which is third in the NBA. Their SRS rating, which means your expected win total, combined with the strength of schedule, is third in the league. So they've had one of the toughest schedules in the league, and their expected wins is really high, which makes them third in the league. They have six players averaging double digits, with Jordan Clarkson leading all players to come off the bench with 17.7 points per game. Um, for me, it looks like a pretty decent setup that they got right there. Now, will that translate to the playoffs? I think defense translates come playoff time. So I think if you can defend in the regular season, you can defend in the playoffs. Um, can they contend for a championship? There's no way they beat the Lakers. There's no way they beat the Clippers. But I will say that based on what we're seeing now, we could be proven wrong. For me, the reason I call the Sixers pretenders and I'm like just underwhelmed by the Sixers, I don't really take them seriously, is because it's same old, same old. Ben Simmons is doing what he always does. Tobias Harris is going to do what he does. Um, but the only difference is Joel Embiid. And like Muck said, if my second scorer is, or sorry, what Perry said of my second scorer is Tobias Harris, I know I'm not going anywhere. So for me, I have the Utah Jazz as more impressive and closer to contention than I do the Philadelphia 76ers.
Those are all great points. One thing, yeah, it could go either way. I think both teams need an extra piece, like some of you brought up. Like Mukhtar saying, like Philadelphia needs another, like Bradley Beal would be like a great example, you know. So I think if they got those kind of pieces, that they can do it. And I can see where you're coming from, Jalen, because Utah has been doing this for a while in the regular season. I think they're just like missing that like little hump to get over the, just like they're just missing something. There's something missing. But let's stay on this topic, but we'll move on with different teams. So on